And so if the A's out of nowhere come up with like this magical run now that they've spent some money and acquired some talent, are you imagining it would kind of be the same thing if they're like, standing on the doorstep of going to the World Series this year?
It would be the biggest slap in the face to the teams or to the fans, just because they've been begging for a contender for decades, right? And when the team was good, when ownership invested a little bit, when there was a competitive product on the field, the fans were there. I don't care how crappy the stadium was, how terrible. They still had troughs in the bathroom, to give you an idea, when it came to the urinals. So, but there was a sense of community there, right? It was always like, this is a dump, but it's our dump. And that's how Raiders fans felt. That's how A's fans felt. So there was this real sense of bonding of like, we're in this awful place, but we're here together and we're having a good time. And we show up when the team is doesn't even have to be competitive. It just has to be, there has to be some kind of investment from ownership. And when that was there, we were there. And now if they start to compete, because they are spending money, they're extending their best players. I'm seeing, news reports, they're spending big money on contracts that all of a sudden they have that they supposedly didn't have for, 30 years in Oakland. So I would think that most people in Oakland would root against them. At worst, at best, they would be, neutral to it. I'm sure there's some people that are just like, hey, I just want to watch baseball. I still like this team. I'm still going to support them. And that's fine too. But I think I'm leaning more on the neutral side. I just don't have a rooting interest in baseball, and it's really turned me off to the sport that I grew up loving. And that's I think was what's most upsetting to me.
Yeah, and I know exactly where you are because I went through it with the NFL. I was, as you know from previous conversations, a bit of an NFL historian, and realistically, my wife and this podcast kind of got me back into the NFL. I went like 2 or 3 years with, playing golf on Sunday or cleaning up around the house. I just literally didn't watch the NFL. And I can totally get how something that you've loved and has been a passion all your life can just go away.